Hey, what's going on, G-Ballers? Today, I have an exciting new knife here to share with you coming in from Miguron. If this is your first time stopping by, welcome to GBall Vision. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your EDC is for today. Feel free to let me know the entire loadout. Now, this was sent in by Miguron, and I'm not exactly sure what the scoop is. I think that they are having a big sale on a couple other knives, and I think this is actually going to be a part of that sale if we can get into the box here. And you can tell by the packaging, this is going to be one of their more affordable knives. Got a nice simple packaging there, microfiber cloth and a sticker. And here we go. So unless this is a new model, this could be a new model as well, along with a sale on the knife, but this is going to be the Valona right here. And the Valona M is a little bit smaller than the original Valona. This one is more what you might consider mid-size, but it's still actually a really good size. We'll get a closer look at that here in a moment. We are going to be looking at a dark blasted drop point blade, and it's going to come in 14C 28N there, and there's no branding on the blade. It looks great. We just have their little logo there on the pivot. Beautiful blue micarta handles here, and we are looking at a milled titanium clip, and I can bet that these are going to be down under $60, which what you get from Miguron, and I've always said this, is some of the best value in the entire knife industry, and they have come a very long way and continuing that tradition. But their knives stay similar in price to what they always have. They just have continued to get better and better. Perfectly centered up there. We have a fuller and a rear flipper for the deployment, and you can use that fuller to deploy the blade very easily. We do have a crown spine there. Detent feels good off that fuller. Closing action is on point, and the way that flipper is done and where it's located, it is basically center line with the pivot there, and you get a nice little beak there with jimping, and it just gives you a nice surface to really get some emph on there, some oomph, right? Closing action, buttery smooth, very, very good. The size, I do like the size. The original is even a little bigger, as I said, and you know, in some cases I prefer that. We are still going to be looking at 3 inches of cutting edge, about 3 3/8 of total blade, and this is going to come just shy of 7 3/4. We're going to be looking at, let's see here, can we get it? It's close. We'll say 11/16, I guess. It's not quite at 3/4. So I just looked real quick, and I think this is a new model, but it's also on a slight sale, and they also have some other sales going on. So I was right in both cases, and also I was wrong. This knife isn't under 60. It's under $51. It's actually coming in at 50 bucks and some change, and that is insane for 14C micarta and a milled titanium clip. And then you top that off with really good build quality. This is an outstanding EDC knife. If you're looking for high value, Miguron is going to be very hard to beat. We'll have a couple of comparison knives here to put the Valona M up against, and it's going to be bigger than something like the Benchmade Bug Out, and it's even going to be a little longer than something like the Raccoon. And two more, we got the Kaiser Drop Bear up top here, Kaiser Militol on the bottom, and you can see it's much bigger than something like the Drop Bear. Not quite as long as the Militol, although you have all of the Militol blade or very close. So they're fitting a nice amount of blade into that handle there. Not quite the same length as the Militol, but it's getting close. And as I already said, you can pick up the original Valona if you want something that's even a little bit larger than this here. We'll go ahead and get our 50 ways baked in GBall Vision Hank out here, and we'll see what this pocket clip looks like in the pocket. And just speaking from experience, I've been buying Megarons, handling them for 5 years now at this point, and this pocket clip that they use, it works really well. It looks good ergonomically. You know, it's kind of the perfect pocket clip for a $50 knife, in my opinion. You have a little bit poking out there, which is perfect in a lot of cases. For me, I prefer this here. It gives you a nice place to grab a hold of the knife and pull it out of the pocket. Retention is not overdone. It's plenty. You got a lot of spring in there, and you got some good clearance in there to get this in. A little bit thicker seams. We do have a G10 backspacer, and we have crowned steel liners. They actually, or at least chamfered off. Those look crowned along with the spine of the blade. That is really, really nice. Typically, crowning isn't something you would see. It's not something you would see in a $50 knife at all. Crown spines on blades were typically on higher end knives, and now in 2025 we are really getting the best the knife world has ever had to offer. It is pretty insane. We'll switch gears here and get our arch nemesis out and give the Valona M a weight check. Now, I have checked out one in G10 before, but don't know about this model here. Man, everything is finished really nicely. Relief cut is internal there, which keeps this nice and clean here along the liner and the scale. Looks really, really good. Nice chamfer on that liner. They've just taken a phenomenal knife and really improved it. I mean, it was, when it first came out, it was amazing. But they have just made slight tweaks and just really refined it. It is a phenomenal design and build here. Now, I'm going to guess the weight. I invite you to play along. Put your guess down in the comments. Even if you already commented, you're more than welcome to leave a couple comments. Now, I'm going to give this a go here. 3 3/8 of total blade. I'm going to say this has some heft to it, though. We do have internal milling in there. I'm going to say this is up around 3.5. Oh, oh, you dirty bugger. 3.3 ounces. I'll take it. 94 grams for everyone else. That's pretty good. That's ratio. People will be happy about that. It's really a knife that hits on all levels, in my opinion. We'll go ahead and we'll get a check here on our handle thickness. 0.48. Blade stock 126. And our behind the edge. You know, and we could just read specs off of the website, but a lot of times they're just not trustworthy. 20 thousandths behind the edge there. And for our millimeter people, 12.4 millimeters on the handle, 3.1 millimeters on the blade stock, and for behind the edge, a rough idea, 0.55 millimeters there. So let's see how the Valona M cuts out of the box. We'll use our standard catalog paper here, and this shorter, pokier drop point is going to be great at piercing, poking, and slicing. It's just going to do a phenomenal job. Got this little choil here. I wouldn't call it a finger choil. It's just more of an enlarged sharpening choil, but you can creep like a fingertip up in there if you needed to, if you really needed to have a lot of control over what you were getting ready to cut. You could definitely go that route. Even behind the flipper tab, though, I don't feel, and some people will be different, I don't feel far away from the edge. There's just plenty of it there at 3 inches of cutting edge. So plenty of blade there to get the job done. And Migron's been using 14C for a long time. They do it good. There was a point in time where it needed to be upped a little bit, and that has since, you know, been done. And lots of companies have went through that with one steel or another. But in regards to this knife at $50, it is going to be extremely hard to beat. If you've never experienced a Migron, the Valona is definitely up really high on the Migrons to check out, especially the M here, you know, for good middle ground. If you like a larger knife, the Valona original is out there as well, and very similar materials. It's just longer. You're going to be getting a lot for your money here, and like I said, it really hits on all levels. You have multiple deployments with the fuller and flipper. Neither of them feel neglected. The detent is, you know, right on point. Good reverse flick, great thumb flick. You do have option for left-hand carry. I almost said you don't. You do have, and I was going to be way wrong. So lefties can carry this. I mean, really, everything is taken care of that I can think of. Maybe one change would be a matching blue micarta backspacer that was a little longer. That would be even better, in my opinion, right? A micarta one that comes up a little further, but that's really getting nitpicky. We don't have a bunch of unnecessary branding on here. 14C is a phenomenal steel, especially down around the $50 price point. Absolutely insane. We'll go ahead and we'll get a check here on our hardware. We're going to be looking at T8 on the body, T8 on that screw there, T8 on the pocket clip, excellent job, and T8 on the pivot, excellent stuff right there. T8s all the way around. That means you're only going to need one bit to disassemble this knife, reassemble it, and or switch the pocket clip, tighten things up. It just makes things that much easier, that much more convenient. Really good job from Migron on this knife and the subtle upgrades that it has had over the years. It really has just become a staple in Migron's lineup. Now, as far as our lockup goes, we're going to be there around 30%. Centering is spot on with this knife. We'll go ahead and we'll give this lock a nice check here. We'll get old Wacky out and we'll give this thing a couple of love taps. We'll make sure it's opened up nicely there and we don't have any movement up or down, side to side. We'll go ahead and start out towards the tip here and we'll see what happens. Just to get us going, we'll close it and check it. Nice little triple tap there in the middle. Very good. Very good. Exactly what we want right there. We're not trying to see if we can hammer in a nail. We're just making sure that that lock's not going to fail us very easily, right? That is the main idea there. You have to let me know, is the Migron line something you could ever see yourself picking up? And if you have some Migrons, let me know down in the comments which ones you have. Is the Valona M something you could see adding to your rotation or your collection? I look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions on the Valona M here. Make sure you share this video and hit the thumbs up button. That helps out tremendously. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy knives, EDC, and all the gear that comes along with it, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release videos like this every single day. I'd love to have you here. I'll pop up a couple of videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.